Salve, Vicinus to all the viewers of Divine Mercy Radio Television, and welcome to our last edition of the week. Remember, it's Cultural Friday at Divine Mercy Radio Television, and we try in our own way to bring culture to your doorstep, to bring culture to you. So we say Elela Bamu to all of you. We say good morning. We say Nzele to you. We say Nebo Alele, Nebo Umbi, Bonbon Kiri, my neighbor, to all of you out there viewing us this morning. And we say welcome to this program where we have amazing slots in our basket to keep you this morning. Remember, it's a very cold morning in the town of Boya, and you just want to stay glued to Divine Mercy Radio Television for amazing slots that are coming your way. We have education, we have entertainment, we have information. You don't want to move an inch from where you are. As a way to start up our program, we're going to be reflecting on the Word of God, and Reverend Father Christian Elumbat is here to treat us to our reflection of the day. Today we just have to meditate and thank God for a new day. It's not by our might or our power, but it's by the grace of God that we are up, healthy and strong, and about to go on with our day's activity. To all those who have been working from Monday and today is Friday, do not give up. You just want to put in a lot more energy to attain the goal you want to attain in this month of July. So let's get to Reverend Father Christian Elumbat and meditate, and when we come back, we're going to have more on the program this morning.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good morning, televiewers of Diemaru TV, and welcome to our daily meditation with me, Father Christian Elumbat. Today, Friday, the 4th of July, our readings are taken from the book of Genesis, chapter 23, verse 1 to 4, 19, 24, verse 1 to 8, 62 to 67, and the Gospel from Matthew chapter 9, verse 9 to 13. As Jesus was walking on, he saw a man named Matthew sitting by the customs house, and he said to him, "Follow me." And he got up and followed him. While he was at dinner in the house, it happened that a number of tax collectors and sinners came to sit at table with Jesus and his disciples. When the Pharisees saw this, they said to his disciples, "Why does your master eat with tax collectors and sinners?" When he heard this, he replied, "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. Go and learn the meaning of the words, 'What I want is mercy, not sacrifice.' And indeed, I did not come to call the virtuous, but sinners." The Gospel of the Lord. The Bible has many stories of people who have been given a second chance, and they became great people and saints in the process. For example, St. Paul, he was an executioner of Christians that turned to a great missionary. St. Thomas, who was a doubter, and he changed to become a believer. Again, St. Peter, who denied Jesus but became the head of the church. Today's gospel is another story of another chance given to another person by the name Matthew. Matthew comes from the Aramaic word Mattai, a shorter form of the Hebrew Mataniah, which means gift of Yahweh. All of us know who Matthew is. He is a tax collector. A tax collector, by profession, is despised by the Jewish people. In the eyes of many, Matthew was not a good man. Nobody wanted to be seen in his company except his own fellow tax collectors and sinners. The people, especially the Pharisees, scrupulously avoided their company, refused to do business with them, refused to give or to receive anything from them, refused to intermarry, and avoid any form of entertainment with them, including table fellowship. However, Jesus associates with them. He dares these Pharisees by being seen together with the tax collectors and sinners, and even has a dinner in the house of Matthew with the rest of Matthew's company of tax collectors and sinners. He gave Matthew a second chance by inviting him to be one of his disciples. That is why Jesus says, "I desire mercy and not sacrifice." So often we express our love of God in our words and in our prayers, But how little do we show mercy in our lives? He wants us to express our love for him precisely through our love for our neighbor. Somebody said it could be the details of a service to a home, a smile, a word of praise to a friend or someone in need, a hidden act of charity to someone who has never received it, and the list may continue. In short, we need to continually see others through the prism of the eyes of Christ, and even more importantly, we need to love them with the heart of Christ. Jesus calls you and I for a purpose. Jesus has called us through baptism, forgiving us our sins, and welcomed us as members in his kingdom. In fact, Jesus calls us daily through the word and through the church to be his disciples and to turn away from all that distracts us from God. Just as Matthew did, we too are expected to proclaim Christ through our lives by reaching out to the unwanted and the marginalized in society with the love and compassion that Jesus showed to him. The Lord be with you. May Almighty God bless you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Many thanks to you, Reverend Father Christian Ilumbat, for treating us to a meditation this morning. Let's all identify our potentials, identify your strengths, and do not stand out different in the community in a negative way. Always be a positive impact in your community. It's very, very important, such that people can see your light and follow. We are so grateful for that reflection. We're going to take you to our saints of the day. We're finding out who we celebrate on this 4th day of July as the patron saint. So let's get to Sister Florence Awamben, who is ready on standby to treat us to our saints of the day, for us to emulate the virtues of these saints and live better lives as children of God. So let's get to Sister Florence and find out who we celebrate as a saint of today.
Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. We thank God for the gift of a new day. Today, the 4th of July, we celebrate the feast of St. Elizabeth of Portugal, patroness of the 3rd order of St. Francis. St. Elizabeth was named after her aunt, St. Elizabeth of Hungary. Her grandfather took charge of her education, but before she got to the age of 6, her grandfather died, so she was given in marriage at the age of 12 to the King of Portugal. Though the king was a pagan, he allowed Elizabeth to practice her devotions. Eventually, her exemplary life converted her husband, the king, who was living a wayward life. She dedicated her life to the works of charity to the poor. St. Elizabeth had her own suffering and temptations, especially when she had to deal with her son who revolted against his father, the king, until she helped them to reconcile. After the death of her husband, St. Elizabeth decided to join the 3rd order of St. Francis, where she continued with her work of charity. When opportunity comes and we make use of this opportunity, God helps us to grow in grace. This is St. Elizabeth of Portugal, who was named after her auntie, who is St. Elizabeth of Hungary. Her grandfather was in charge of her education, but at a very tender age of 6, her grandfather died. So she was given out in marriage at the age of 12. I wonder how that would have been possible, because a 12-year-old child nowadays will barely be able to wash his or her uniforms. So I will imagine how a 12-year-old will be expected to manage a home. And she was given out to marry to a king. This king was a pagan. But Elizabeth was lucky because the king allowed her to practice her vocation. And because of her exemplary life, her husband, the king, was converted. Her husband, the king, was converted. That is the point in which I want us to stay with in this reflection. Because of her exemplary life, because of her devotion, her devotedness, it touched her husband, and she was converted and became a Christian. And Elizabeth continued in her work of charity to the poor. We see it here every day. Her work of charity to the poor. But in the midst of all that, she had her own challenges. Her son had serious problem with her husband, the son with his father. And Elizabeth struggled, did all she could with her exemplary life, with her devotion, and was able to reconcile them. That's a plus. And when her husband died, of course, she decided to spend the rest of her life and join the Third Order of St. Francis, where she had opportunity now to continue with her devotion and her service to the poor. So, my dear brothers and sisters, what kind of life do you live as a Catholic? What kind of life do you live as a Christian? What are those around you saying about your life? Because whatever you do, people see, people watch, and they draw conclusions. Are you the type of Catholic who we only know by mouth or by action? By their fruits, you will know them. That's it. A pagan king who is living a wayward life is converted by his wife without a word, only by her example. We've said it here time and again. Evangelization comes in many forms. There are evangelization that you go preaching, but there are evangelization that people read the Bible through your life. People see Christ in you and are drawn to follow. That is the kind of life that Elizabeth of Portugal lived. And the husband was drawn. My dear brothers and sisters, are you the kind of Christian who people see, they run away from Christ? Or the type that when people see, they want to go close to Christ? These are questions that you want to reflect on today as you go about your business. Ask yourself the kind of life you are living as a Christian. Ask yourself the kind of example you are living as a Catholic. Ask yourself whether those who come across you, they have something positive to take home. Because some of us live such scandalous life that we make people even want to run away from the church. Yes, you found many people say, if these are the kind of people that are going to church and even holding posts, I better not go to the church because they will lead me to hell. Yes, our actions tell a lot. The little things we do without knowing has a lot, influences others a lot, either positively or negatively. That's why we should be very, very careful and ask ourselves whether the kind of life we are living is the one that when people see us, when people come in contact with us, is the one that will draw them to Christ or drive them away from Christ. So that will be our food for thought today. And if we see that there are certain things that we need to change in our lives, let us walk through them and ask God to help us with His grace. And certainly He will do that. And I want to thank you because I know through the intercession of St. Elizabeth, we will continue to struggle to build our faith as expected of us as Catholics. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Sister Florence Awambeng, for the mind-blowing saint of the day. Which kind or what saint are you? What type of Christian are you? Are you an exemplary Christian which people will see and want to emulate your virtues in the church, or you are a Christian when once other Christians see they run away? Do you call more people to God, or you send people far away from God? That should be our meditation of today. That should be the question each and every one of us is asking themselves. What kind of Christian am I? Do I live an exemplary life? Am I a visionary for Christ? That's what we should meditate on today. Thank you so much, sister. And we hope we all are listening or are meditating on these words and looking forward or having self-reflection of our lives as Christians. Thank you for that reflection. At this point in time, it's 7:30 by our studio clock, and we have Aloysius Like here to treat us to our Divine Mercy Info. He's here to tell us about the happenings of things in the Diocese of Boya and beyond, cutting across all works of life. So let's get to Aloysius Like for our Divine Mercy Infos.
Good morning and thanks for always keeping the rendezvous with us here over Salve, Vicinus for our Divine Mercy Info. And this Friday we'll conclude the package that we have for you for this week. We begin a new day in the Diocese of Aboya, where the Chief Shepherd of Boya, Bishop Michael Baby, has rated a 5-day meeting he had with the seminarians as successful. The Chief Shepherd, in the course of the meeting with the seminarians who are attending a school in Bamenda and Manfe, advised them to take their formation seriously, respect their formators, and avoid situations and environments that are not true to their calling. Sama Eileen completes this story.
The excitement exhibited by the seminarians is a reflection of how successful their meeting with the bishop was, as well as their stay in the Diocese of Boya. After presiding at the 5th and last meeting with the seminarians in the Diocese of Boya, among them those in Theology 1 at St. Thomas Aquinas Major Seminary Bambui, those in St. John Paul Minor Seminary in Bachongtai, and those on Pastoral Year, the Chief Shepherd made an appraisal of the 5-day meeting.
We have 81 seminarians in the Diocese of Boya, and normally during the coming first day we begin by having a general meeting, and in that general meeting I hear from those who are in theology in Bambui, St. Thomas Aquinas Major Seminary in Bambui. I also hear from those who are in St. John Paul II Minor Seminary in Bachongtai. They have their representatives who give me a summary of how the academic year was. Then those who are on pastoral year, I also hear from them. Their representatives tell me how their pastoral year was.
He rated the meeting very successful, with just few challenges recorded, while urging the seminarians to follow the rules and regulations of the formation centers, live according to their vocation, and avoid any situations that may not be true to their vocation.
The meeting, according to my judgment, has been good. I continuously tell them to be open, in discussing with the bishop, and at the same time to take their formation seriously. The seminary has rules and regulations, and when you go to the seminary, and those rules and regulations are meant to help you as far as your formation is concerned. And if you follow the rules and regulations and live according to your vocation, I think at the end of the day, you have no reason to regret. And as a father, I'm there to encourage them in their vocation. I'm there to tell them that they should avoid situations and environments that may make them not to be true witnesses to their vocation. So that has been what we have been doing, and generally it has been a success. Well, I think any major challenge, I would say no major challenge. But of course, we have been looking for the possibilities of getting a better environment. Bishop Rogan is good and is closer to my house. I think with the completion of the pastoral center now, the next meeting will be in the pastoral center.
Anthony Dingbobga is in Theology 1 at Stams Bambwe.
We had the opportunity to actually be with our bishop to discuss with him one-on-one on the things that are happening in the seminary.
For Jude Arka Jedediah, he has listened keenly to the local ordinary, taking home a message that will guide him through his formation.
My take-home message is from the bishop is to remain focused on listening to God's call and to avail ourselves to formation that we may be configured after the image of the Good Shepherd, and that finally, when all this is done, the prophecy or the promise God made to Prophet Jeremiah in chapter 3, verse 15 of his book, that he will give us shepherds after his own heart, will be fulfilled. Thank you.
The seminarians expressed gratitude and excitement after receiving gifts from Bishop Michael Beebe, the 75th anniversary history book, and the 25th anniversary fabric of Bishop Beebe's forthcoming jubilee.
Many of us are going back happy, planning to join our bishop on the 25th of this month, July, to celebrate his 25th anniversary. That is why you can see on me the fabric of the celebration of his silver jubilee, which he shared to all seminarians of the Diocese of Boya who were for this meeting. So with this, we are actually very happy. He gave us the history books of the 75th anniversary we just passed.
The bishop is a very caring father, and today he has given us the fabric of his 25th priestly anniversary. This is more than an invitation, and it shows how he loves and wants to have us involved in this celebration, this milestone, because...
And the bishop has given us the history book and the magazine, and also a fabric for his 25th anniversary as a priest. We are very happy for the gesture shown by the bishop, and we continue to tell him that we are going to keep up to standards as seminarians of the Diocese of Boya.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the bishop very much for his wonderful love and concern towards us.
He gave us some of the booklets to at least have knowledge of the diocese, and made us part of his upcoming 25th anniversary as a priest. And so we look forward to be there in our numbers as seminarians to support and show our love for him as a father as well.
The seminarians, including those at the Vianney Center, have communed with Bishop Beebe, shared experiences, and now look forward to their one-month apostolic work, which begins on July 15 to August 15, 2025.
Include a 5-day meeting with dear Father, the Bishop of Boya. We stay in the Diocese of Boya where modifications have been made on the upper floor of the National Episcopal Conference building at the Bishop Pius Hour Pastoral Center. This was as the Bishop paid a visit to some ongoing projects taking place in the Diocese of Boya. He made a stop at the Presbytery of Moliko, that is the Divine Mercy Cathedral, also at the Repafin PLC building. He was accompanied by Magdalene Wondo from a newsroom.
With pastoral care and visionary leadership, the Bishop of Boya, His Lordship Michael Beebe, made a stop at some construction sites to supervise the progress of work done so far. Beginning at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral Presbytery, made up of 2 floors and 4 apartments each, the Bishop is impressed with the work done as the workers look forward to plastering the walls. Moving to the Pastoral Center, evaluation was done on the upper building of the National Episcopal Conference Hall structure and adjustments were made on the arrangements of the bathrooms. The level of work going on at this structure is the plastering of walls pending the ceiling work. At the third building, plastering of the ground floor and the first floor has been completed. The contractor brings us to speed with the level of work done.
The contractor for the Bishop Hour Memorial Pastoral Center. We are at the level of this third building for the resident. Right now we are doing the plastering. So we are through the ground floor, the first floor. We are at the level of the third floor now. So for now we are doing only plastering. The Bishop just confirmed that the work is what we are doing is good. So we have to continue.
Making another stop at the Regina Patches Microfinance Repafin PLC structure made up of 3 floors, preparations are ongoing for the second decking. Elias Awini, in charge of the work at this building, recounts.
So right now we're there for stage for second decking. And as you can see, we are prepared. As you can see, we prepare a second decking right now. So from the second decking, we'll go to third decking. After the third decking, now we build the last floor where we go take the roofing. That section you get repaffing. This section you get stores. Right now we're there for level for decking. For the second floor, as we prepare them, this building get 3 floors. One section for repaffing, the other section are stores, and the upper side are offices.
With the progress of work on these projects, the local ordinary of the Diocese of Boya is optimistic of the outcome, and the workers are positive as they continue work to meet the deadline of completion of these projects.
News community stakeholders at the Limbe 3 municipality have been called to be a relationship of collaboration rather than that of confrontation. The call was made by the Office of the Public Independent Consulator as they organized a town hall meeting at the Limbe 3 municipality. Details in this report. Gathered at the Limbe 3 Council Hall in the heart of Bimbia were stakeholders who all came at the request of the Office of the Public Independent Consulator OPIC for the Southwest region, with their minds sharpened to fully understand the missions and activities of this office as well as their relationship and contributions with their local council. The town hall meeting, which has as theme Office of the Public Independent Consulator, fostering collaborative governance between the council and community stakeholders in Limbe 3 municipality as a pathway to local development and better service delivery, was attended by senior state officials and traditional authorities who, together with the delegates from the communities, listened to 2 presentations which highlight the functioning of this institution as well as rights and obligations of users of council services. The first presentation on the missions of OPIC by Mr. Atemkeng Michael brought the participants up to speed on the core visions of OPIC, who can bring a complaint to the office and what sort of complaints are handled by the office, as well as procedures to give a complaint. The participants were also lectured on what is expected from them to assist the councils provide better service delivery. These participants are leaving the town hall meeting nourished with the facts to educate others.
This seminar has impacted so much in the aspect of the users of the councils and that of the decentralized institutions, which happens to be the local collectivities and the regional councils. We're enlightened about our obligations and rights and the obligations of the council towards these users. What I took home for this, my home package for this seminar is actually the duties of this OPIC, which is the examining of the dispute between the citizens and that of the local collectivities and the regional councils. I actually highlighted the aspect of the reports or recommendations and investigations that can be carried out by this OPIC, and actually see how to amicably settle the disputes that may arise between the citizens.
Well, I've learned a lot concerning the program. I've learned as a citizen the rights that you have to have based on council activities. And also, from what I gathered here, it's also good for a citizen to pay his or her tax in order for you to get a good road and in order for you to have those facilities that the council are going to give us as services.
I only now say for carry matter go court, not be a fine thing. So if you get matter with your neighbor or with your person around you, if you go for any, even if a big man with a big person around the place, but settle amicable. But you don't tell for say for go for court, you don't find where you go for court. After you win the man for case for court, you come back, you and the enemy to go last for long. And number two, I don't learn say if you get business, you pay tax. Because that tax will help the government too for fix the place where you stay there. They only for sure for court, they make mob say they never fix road, they never put public water, they never put street light where you need to pay tax.
The representative of Madam the Public Independent Consulator, Chief Fonju Bernard, hammered on the importance of building a relationship of collaboration than that of confrontation between the council and service users.
The theme of our workshop, of our seminar today, says it all. We are out to achieve a triple objective. One, to enhance collaboration between the local authorities, in this case the mayor and deputies and councillors of Limbet 3 municipality and citizens. Two, to bring community stakeholders who are the traditional rulers, who are leaders of economic groupings, associations, to participate actively in the development of their municipality through actions of civic responsibility. And the overall objective of all of this is to promote inclusive governance, to enhance local governance. Because where the local authorities provide the expected services to citizens and users, you will agree with me as media professionals that the outcome will be an atmosphere of conviviality. It will build trust, it will build confidence, and will ensure a collaborative atmosphere that will enhance the development of the municipality.
It should be recalled that the various town hall meetings organized by the Office of the Public Independent Consulator across the region is geared towards building a culture of shared responsibilities for a peaceful community and quality service delivery. And that report from the Public Independent Consulator wraps up what we have for you this morning. We thank you so very much for keeping the rendezvous with us in the course of the week, and hopefully next week, Monday, we'll be around this table for yet another information from Salve, Vicinus and Divine Mercy Info. You do stay with us.
Thank you very much, Aloysius Likia, for treating us to our Divine Mercy Infos this morning. It was very educative. We went right down to Limbe. We had the seminarians' end of meeting with the bishop. And of course, we also had project updates on this package. So it was a very rich package. And more updates will be yours at exactly 7 p.m. on Divine Mercy Prime. So you don't want to move an inch from this TV channel. We're going to move on to the next slot of the day. But before we get to our guest of the day slot, we're going to have our talking points this morning. Our talking point this morning, we want to find out from you what is the most interesting aspect of your culture. Remember, it's Cultural Friday, and there is a lot we want to be talking about today. So tell us about it. You can get to us via the numbers on your screen, SMS or WhatsApp. Let us know the most interesting aspect of your culture. Is it the way way the people live, the communal spirit? Is it the food? Is it the attire? What is it about your culture? Is it the dance? Is it the way you sing? Is it the language? Let us know what it is about your culture that is the most interesting. At this point in time, we're going to be having our guest of the day. That was an interview with Monsignor Martin Muma. Monsignor Martin Muma is a priest in the Diocese of Boya who has served for 43 years as a priest, and also he's a chaplain at St. Joseph's College, Sase. He's here, we had an interview with him on a book he has written, The Rights and Blessings. So let's get to that interview and find out more about Monsignor Martin Muma's book. Many thanks for joining us on our guest of the day slot on Salve Vicinus. Today on set, we have a guest, and the guest is here to talk about a book which is published for our good, for in as much as we have to grow in our faith. This book is here to facilitate that growth, to enhance our growth in faith. So today, this morning at the studio, we are here with Monsignor Martin Muma. Monsignor Martin Muma is a priest who has been in the service in the priestly ministry for 43 years and counting, and he's also the chaplain at St. Joseph College, Sase. Good morning, Monsi, and thanks for joining us this day.
Thank you. Good morning.
You're very much welcome, Monsi. Okay, Monsi, before us here we have a book, and the book is written Rights and Blessings, that is in Pidgin English. So Monsi, in very few words, maybe you want to tell us about the content of this book. What is the content of the Rights and Blessings?
The contents of the book, The Rights and Blessings, has two main parts.
Okay.
The first part of the book gives rights. That's rights for infant baptism, reception of converts, funeral rites, communion to the sick, and anointing to the sick. Anointing of the sick. Yes.
So,
and the second part of the book gives blessings of persons. People who want to travel, people who want to travel, people who want to also ask favors from God. They want to travel, pilgrims, children, adults who are sick, and rest, expectant mothers and the rest. And the second part of the book will now contain blessing of things such as homes, houses, blessing of seeds before planting, sacramentals, articles of devotion. So that's the second part. That's the contents of the book.
Okay, Monsignor.
And yes, in fact, publishing this book, I've added a few more blessings which were not in the former book. So I've added a few more blessings and also readings to make the book handy. Yes.
Okay, so Monsignor, you talk of former book. So which former book was there before we had this publication?
The former books was the first one was published by Father Gufla.
Okay.
Yes, he was a Mili priest, and the second was published by late Father Evaristus Euphany. So those are the two books we're using.
Okay.
Until now.
Okay, thank you very much, Monsi. So we have in this publication, we see the language there is Pidgin English. I beg your pardon. So why this publication? What was the need for this publication?
There are two reasons why I decided to publish this book.
Okay.
First of all, Pidgin English is a language which is widely used in the liturgy and on other occasions. And in daily life, also Pidgin English is used. And when you use Pidgin English, it helps people for active participation in the liturgy. People understand the context of what is being passed on to them better. And that is why I decided to get onto this publication.
Okay, Monsi, thank you very much. And we also find the title of the book says Rights and Blessings. So maybe you want to list for us, what are the blessings in the church?
Blessings in the church goes back right to the Old Testament in the Catholic Church.
Okay.
And when we bless people, the first thing demanded is faith. People will demand faith. We need faith. And when we bless people, we're asking God to grant them spiritual and material favors.
Okay.
And the blessings in the Catholic Church go back to the Old Testament. For example, in Numbers, book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 22 to 27, God told Moses to tell Aaron and his sons who were priests of the Old Testament to bless people in God's name, saying, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you, and may the Lord be gracious to you. So it goes back to the Old Testament. And in the New Testament, in Luke's Gospel, chapter 18, verse 15 to 17, we are told people were bringing children for Jesus to bless. But the disciples said, no, send the children away, let them not disturb Jesus. But Jesus said, no, let them come to me. And he laid his hands on the children and blessed them, and said, it is to such as these that the kingdom of heaven belongs.
Okay, thank you very much, Monsi. And I see on the blessings of persons on the table of contents of this book, when you talk of blessing of persons, it means we all have the right to just meet a priest for blessings. Is that what you mean? You must not want to travel, you must not want to go for surgery, or you might just see a priest and you seek his blessings. Is that right? Is that a right thing to do?
I published this book because people go for blessings for specific reasons.
Okay.
You are traveling, you want God to help you to travel safely. A pregnant woman, begging God to help her to give birth safely.
Okay.
An adult is sick, a child is sick, then you ask for the blessings.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the reason asking for God's favor, as I said.
Okay, thank you very much, Monsi. And for the persons to use this book, who is entitled to this book? Is it for all Christians? Is it for a particular group of persons, or is open for everybody?
Actually, I published this book because the former ones on rights and blessings books are gradually getting out of existence.
Okay.
Those published by former priests like Father Evarist and Father Gupta, you can no longer find them in our parish houses. It's difficult getting hands on them. So even the tradition of blessing people is going down on account of that. So one of the reasons I published this is also to call people's attention to the fact that they need to ask God's blessings for different reasons, and also to make this book available to priests, especially around priests who do not have them. And so I encourage parish priests to get this book, make the books available for their priests and the catechists so that they could be used.
Okay, thank you very much. So if I'm getting it right, priests and catechists should get a copy of the rights and blessings. It's a must-have for all priests and catechists because the book is very rich. It has several sections. If you go through the table of contents, you're going to find very, very interesting sections that you should be aware of as a person. So maybe some persons watching us will be wondering where they could get a copy of this book. So where can we actually get a copy of this book?
Yes, thank you so much. In our ecclesiastical province, this book will be available in our bishop's bishop's houses for sale. As I've already talked with Bishop Michael Bibi, they will be available from tomorrow in our bishop's house for sale. And I'll get in touch with the bishops of the other dioceses of Bamenda, Kumbo, Manfe, and Bamenda, Kumbo, Manfe, Bamenda. All those, I'll get in touch with them so that they will also be available in the whole ecclesiastical province.
Okay, thank you very much.
And later on, then, they could be sold in other bookshops.
Yes. Exactly what I was getting to. So parish priests can get them from the bishop's house. You could just get to the bishop's house, and then you will get copies of the book, and you could also sell at the parish level. So Monsi, looking at this publication, who are those you're grateful for? The people who maybe put their hands together for you to seal the publication of this book to its final product?
I am very grateful for all those who helped me publish these books. There are priests who help me in the translations,
Okay.
help the corrections. Father Joa Wo, Father Celestine Diang of late, of blessed memory. You have other priests who helped me. Joseph Bomsa also helped me. I'm grateful to all those priests. And I'm also grateful to my family members and friends who helped me to publish this book, and me to realize this project. And finally, I'm really grateful to our bishop, Michael Bibi, who gave the imprimatur. Means he gave the go-ahead for me to publish this book. I'm also grateful to him.
Okay, thank you very much, Monsi. And dear viewers, if there is something you have doubts on, you could always get to Monsi. So Monsi, if someone wants to maybe get to you directly, and find out more about this book, how did they get to you? What is the contact, or what is your location for someone who wants to meet you one-on-one and talk more about this book? How do people get to you?
Thank you. First thing is I'm chaplain in St. Joseph's College, Sase. If you're around there, you can get to me. But my contact by WhatsApp is 677 683880. I take it again. 677 683880.
Okay, thank you so much, Monsi, for gracing us with your presence, and we hope you are getting ready to grasp a copy of the book. Get it from the bishop's house or contact your parish priest. He's definitely going to have a way to get the book for you, and you're going to also be able to read from the bounty of the book. As he rightly said, if you have a worry about the book, you want to get to him, you could get to him at St. Joseph's College, Sase, where he serves as chaplain, or through his contacts as he shared with you. And you could get to him and just find out more about the book and clarify your doubts, if any. So we say thank you very much, Monsi, for coming, and we hope to have you maybe subsequently for another occasion, not necessarily you coming on your book.
Thank you, Magdalene. My last words.
Okay.
I'm very grateful to the management of DMRTV for permitting me to come and have this interview. I'm very grateful to you. May God bless us all.
Amen. Thank you so much, Monsi. And dear viewers, we say good, Monsi, have a great day, and we're going to see you subsequently, like I said. Dear viewers, that was our guest of the day, Monsignor Martin Muma, who talked to us about his book, The Rights and Blessings in the Church. Grab a copy from the bishop's house or get to your parish priest, and you definitely have a copy. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Randy, for taking us through our guest of the day interview. If you're just joining us, you're on to Salve, Vicinus on Divine Mercy Radio Television, where we have amazing slots to inform, to educate, and to entertain you. Remember, we are beaming live from Boya, that is live from Mount Fako, and it's a very cold morning. You just want to sit wherever you are, stay warm, keep your children warm. This is the season of cold, children catching cold and all of that. We do not want to see children in the hospital sick, so parents have the responsibility to always keep their children warm, give them warm tea or warm water. They should avoid cold things during this season. Our topic of discussion remains: what is the most interesting aspect of your culture, or about your culture, that you might want to share with us on set today? Let us know what is it about your culture that keeps you very, very attached to it, or that excites you, or that makes you very, very proud to be maybe a child from the Bakwere land, from the south, from the west region, from the northwest, from the center. What is it about your culture, your tribe, that makes it stand out? Is it the food in that culture? Is it the way they dress? Is it the dance moves? Is it the way they commune as a community? What is it about your culture that keeps you glued to it? Remember, we still have enough slots in our basket, so you don't want to move an inch from wherever you are. We're going to have amazing slots just to keep you in tune today. So let's get this musical interlude, very brief musical interlude, and when we come back, we'll have Summer Eileen for our press review. Thank you very much, our broadcaster Randy, for that cultural music. We have Eileen Sama in the studio. She's here to treat us to our press review, to let us know what the print media has for us today, the men and women of the print media, what is beaming from that end of information these days. So let's get to Sama Eileen and find out what is making top news on the papers this morning. Good morning, Eileen.
Good morning to you, our beautiful host. I mean, you look so gorgeous this morning.
Thank you.
Magdalene Wundo. I love the kaba and the headpiece. It just blends perfectly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
thanking me.
It is the last edition of the week, and want to find out what is making what is echoing on the papers these days.
That's right. This morning we have the Prime Minister's visit to the Northwest region. He arrived Bamenda yesterday and has been received in pomp and splendor. He's there for working visit. He's going to be evaluating the PPRD, that's the presidential plan for the reconstruction and development of the Northwest and Southwest regions. So Chief Dr. Joseph Giongute arrived safely yesterday in Bamenda, chief town of the Northwest region, after being received somewhere in the west, yes, of course, before finally going down northwest. We also have the Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manawula Malashi, who has defended a law in Parliament insisting that when it concerns, this law has to do with human organs, the implants and all of that, so he has defended this law in Parliament, calling on the authorities that they should look into this law for better procedures to be carried out for the transplant of various human organs, and if it's that costly, maybe the state should look into it. Then we also have another law that he is defending. It is that has to do with tobacco products. He is asking that a tax should be increased, on the production of tobacco products, so that it can curb the rate at which these products are being produced and how consumers consume them, because it is very, very detrimental to their health, Magdalene Mundo. So these are just some of the major headlines. We always have politics about what the SPDM is doing and the other parties, ahead of the elections. Yes, of course, in Yaoundé, I think somewhere in Fundi or so, yes, of course, the partisans are rallying big to turn out on October for the polls to give their support to President Biya, as we hear this morning.
Okay, that's a very rich package for us to digest over the weekend. So let's just get straight into our press review with Sama Eileen.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Huge thanks for being with us this last day for our press review. This morning, we want to start with the Guardian Post daily this morning, which is taking us to Bamenda, chief town of the Northwest region, where the Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Giongute, arrived there for a working visit to evaluate, the PPRD. We read this morning that PM gets enthusiastic welcome in Bamenda. This is the major headline on the Guardian Post Gazette this Friday, and beneath, Dr. Chief Joseph Giongute is in Bamenda ahead of the 7th Steering Committee session of the Presidential Plan for Reconstruction and Development of the Northwest and Southwest regions. Be mindful of the fact that he was here not too far for the 6th Steering Committee here in Boya, where he presided over the event. Well, away from that, let's look at another interesting story still on the Guardian Post. It is still Sago 2025 on the left ear of the Gazette. Investment Promotion Agency spotlights role as business facilitator and economic catalyst. You are encouraged to read more about this piece as we see the Minister of Communication, Rene Manuel Sadi, congratulating the IPA boss during visit to agency's stand. Well, St. Paul Awards 2024, we hear that all road leads to Boya for this award that has some contestants already standing, and we are hoping and wishing them well to see that Cameroonians from all walks of life, who excelled in their respective domains in rendering selfless services to the nation and communities, as well as institutions, will be awarded tomorrow, Saturday, July 5, by the FACO division of the Southwest region. Well, get all the details on this edition of the paper, what Barrister Agbo Bala, Secretary of St. Pa, is saying. He is an award jury, and Natambetiko Christopher as well, President of St. Pa Award Jury. Well, we leave that Gazette this morning. And like we always do, we give a priority to English-speaking papers. Let's take on Cameroon Echoes. Cameroon Echoes looks at the PPRD, which is prioritizing reinforcement of PAMOL, and the CDC not leaving out the UNVDA production system for 2025. You can get details of that story on page 6. And in culture, we read that in the Manyemem village, Chief Bisong Williams empowers 300 women with soap, detergent, and production skills. We'll get to read more about this cultural economic piece on this edition of the Gazette. It is contained on page 3. Bukwango, Chief Jem Bonde installs Palace Chief of Cabinet, Council of Elders, and Traditional Councillors, as we read on page 5, or on the cover page. The details are on page 5. Kumba 1 Council prays for National Clean City Contest. Page 10 has the details of that story. And in Manu, we read thousands are called heroes welcome to Manu Economic Operators President General Bisong Richard. Well, you know what to do if you're interested in that piece. Let's leave that Gazette and take on the pilot which is showcasing the Prime Minister's visit in Bamenda. Yes, he is in Bamenda today. Prime Minister Dr. Dion Ongute, as we here to evaluate the PPRD presidential plan for the development and reconstruction of the Northwest and Southwest. Well, milestones in the Northwest will be reviewed this day in Bamenda. Well, away from that, Dr. Chris Fomunion, markets Cameroon's cultural richness at U.S. World Affairs Council, as the paper tells us. So you grab a piece and you can get all the details. Well, we are now going to take on the next Gazette this morning. Let's focus now on Cameroon Tribune. Cameroon Tribune, the lone bilingual daily, yes, is also brandishing, the visit the head of government is making or has made to the Northwest region. And he's to review the PPRD for the Northwest and Southwest region. Of course, it is an evaluation mission, as Cameroon Tribune captions say, the 7th steering committee meeting of the PPRD. And away from that, in Adamawa and West regions, concerning the presidentials, we read this morning on Cameroon Tribune that presidential election under discussions. Delegations from the two regions held working sessions at Unity Palace yesterday, July 3rd, 2025, with the Minister of State, Secretary General at the Presidency, Ferdinand Gongo. Issues of infrastructure were presented and instructions given to solidify proximity with the population. Page 3 contains all the details. And the Gazette this morning, is warning about, floods, looking at the climatic conditions or previous climatic conditions of the country. It is already the rainy season, and yes, of course, between the 1st and the 10th of July, we are reading, of course, this morning that the National Climate Observation is warning that there could be some floods in some regions in the country with the heavy rains right now. We'll get the details on this edition of the Gazette. All right, away from that Gazette, let's now look on some French gazettes this morning, and we would love to start. Let's start with Info Santé. Yes, let's give priority to health this morning. On Info Santé Gazette this morning, we clearly see the the news about what the Minister of Health has said or is saying at the National Assembly. Yes, none other than Manahoda Malashi, who is defending a law on human transplants. Well, we read this morning that yesterday the Minister of Health, Public Health, Dr. Manahoda Malashi, presented and defended a major bill relating to the donation, collection, and transplantation of human biological organs. Get to read more about that on page 11 of the Gazette. And still on Info Sante, in the fight against tobacco, we read this morning that the tax must increase as Info Sante states it. It is to achieve this objective. It is to achieve this objective that the parliamentarians took part yesterday, July 3, 2025, at the National Assembly in a workshop organized by the Inter-Parliamentary Union (IPU) and the Parliamentary Network for the Fight Against Tobacco and Drugs, looking at this situation, calling on the authorities to, increase taxation in order to help Cameroonians stay away from consuming tobacco products or stopping the various tobacco companies from producing in large numbers. Let's now take on Forum Libre. Forum Libre this morning takes us to the National Assembly, and is telling us that Ferdinand Angongo violates the National Assembly. Well, let's read a little into the story. While several political figures have already been nominated by their parties and others continue to declare their candidacies with a view to participating in the presidential election scheduled for October 2025, pending the convening of the electorate, the Minister of State, Secretary General at the Presidency of the Republic, Ferdinand Gongo, has been holding a series of meetings with members of the government and parliamentarians since July 1, 2025 at the Unity Palace in preparation for the presidential election. The objective is to remobilize the troops of the presidential camp in order to prepare a resounding and flawless victory for the announced candidate, Paul Biya. Well, you have to get a copy of the paper and you read all the details. Well, that story is on pages 2 and 3 of the Gazette. Well, we're going to leave that Gazette. Let's take on L'Indépendant. L'Indépendant this morning takes us to the Yaoundé 6 municipality, where we hear that the road projects, rehabilitation projects to get some of the roads back to get them back functioning and smooth. We hear that this projects are going to be on a cruising speed. This is according to the mayor of Fundi, who is looking at these various stretches concerning that linking Kamsik, Mendong, and Etugebe. We also have Komkana and Carrefour, the chef or Carrefour Gendarmerie up to Mendong section. Yes, of course, several projects that have received special funding under the Presidential Emergency Plan for the Development and Rehabilitation of the road network in the city of Yaoundé in general and Yaoundé City district in particular. Will definitely observe very speedy rehabilitation in the coming days, as we read on this edition of the paper. All right, away from that, we are going to take on the next Gazette this morning. It is L'Étudiant. L'Étudiant newspaper is calling on students to be mindful of fraudsters out there who are scamming them. Yes, of course, collecting money and promising jobs and others, getting their money to prepare papers for them. They are being warned about some of these posters that are pasted across cities in the country for massive and free employment. So you're being warned about these scams and scammers who are out there to defraud you of your money. So be watchful. That story is the main headline news on this edition of the Gazette. We urge you to grab a copy of the paper and read all the details. And we will now leave that Gazette, and this morning we would love to look at Loju. Loju newspaper is taking us to Konengi, and we are reading this morning about Marafa, what Marafa is saying in his letter. We are reading that Marafa is having so much, he's filled with a spirit of hope regardless of what is happening to him at this point in time. As the Gazette narrates, writing from prison, you can read more about what he has said about President Biya and the elections that are forthcoming on this edition of the paper. Ferdinand Paul Enoka, we read, writes a letter to Bello Buba Maigari, Issa Chiruma and Maurice Kamto as the presidentials, draw closer and closer by the day. Get the Gazette and read all the details this beautiful day. And we would love to wrap up with Info Matin. Let's wrap up with Info Matin this morning, which is talking about the presidential 2025 as well, and states that the Adamawa and the West region are turning out for a massive support. They want to support President Biya and make sure that President Biya win the elections. This was yesterday. They took the pledge yesterday for the support as mobilization continues to go for the CPDM party, and this one led by the Secretary General at the presidency, Ferdinand Ngongo, whom you see there with some members of government and parliamentarians, all militants of the CPDM party. So get the paper and read more. Well, we have La Lune, which is also talking about CPDM rallying for President Biya in the three northern regions. We have Relay Africa as well, taking us to Wuri 3, how they are mobilizing to support President Biya come the presidentials in October. So we urge you all to grab any of these gazettes and you will read all the details. Thank you very much. This is the last press review for the week. We'll be back on Monday with more papers and more reviews for your swift and easy understanding. Stay with us. So Vicinus continues with Magdalene Wundo.
Thank you very much, Sama Eileen, for bringing us a press review. Of course, going through English speaking and French speaking papers. It was a very rich package. But I want to stay with this story on Cameroon Tribune, the story on the alert of climatic conditions from the National Observatory Body. If you could have Cameroon Tribune on the screen. I'm looking at this story because recently in Limbe we had a lot of flooding, and Limbe also has been noted of flooding. So I think 2 years back here in Boya, it was not an easy thing. We had a lot, flooding such that houses were going with people and all of that. And I don't really know how people could really stay informed with this, because it's a very touching story. Because whenever we have flooding, we must have either one person dies or we have a lot of loss, that is property loss and all of that. So if Climate Observatory is bringing this as a warning now, I think every other person living in some kind of hill or slopy area should be on their guard, because it's not really going to be an easy season. We have really been having rain from the first day. Today this is already the fourth, and it's really been a rainy period. We have fog everywhere. So what do you really think about this and the alert the National Climate Observatory is giving to people who live in such areas?
I really salute their effort. Let's say they're doing a great job, Magdalene Wundo, but it's unfortunate that natural disasters like they are warning, we have landslides and flooding and all of that, thunderstorms and a lot more in various localities. They are warning that from July 1 to the 10th, there will be heavy rains and we should be careful. But how do we actually fight against such. It's going to be really difficult because we have to prepare for the rainy seasons during the dry season. It is not in July that we will start looking for preventive measures to fight against floods and landslides and all of that.
That's right.
People who live in areas prone to landslides are always warned, leave those areas. Don't buy lands in areas that are swampy, areas that are hilly, because these are the areas that always suffer from landslides and all these natural disasters. But as stubborn as we are, probably we've already invested and we are looking at the money. We don't want to leave and relocate to another locality. Yes, due to economic hard times, but will you consider your life more important, or you consider property and investment more important? So this is a question Cameroonians need to ask themselves. You know, should I give up my property and stay alive and have the chance to be able to work harder and make more money, and then buy land in an appropriate land where it's free from all these floodings, landslides and mushiness and all of that? So we have to think about our safety, Magdalene. It makes no sense living in a landslide prone zone in climatic areas where are very dangerous for our health, our well-being as climate observatory ones. But we are reiterating that partners, government partners and the government itself can always come to prepare for rainy seasons like this. It's true they're doing, but what they're doing, taking some measures and doing a lot, but we want more. We want to see them on the road, you know, actually making sure that gutters are free. We still have clogged gutters, like in big cities like Yaoundé, Douala. Gutters are still clogged. There is still filth on the streets. They coming to work. I saw a lot of dirt on our street. This filth that has been abandoned has not been taken off, and this is what get our gutters, our streams clogged, and then
it starts getting on the road and spoiling the road.
Exactly. So those building around mountain areas like we are in Boya, Fako, those under the mountains, you know, water waves, we should not build on water waves. These persons have been warned. Sometimes your buildings are destroyed and all, and you get angry and all, but they're doing this thing for your safety. So let's also respect the authorities so that we all can stay alive.
Thank you very much. And on Info Sante, we see a fight against tobacco.
Yes.
They want to increase taxes on this.
Exactly.
I think this is a very laudable initiative because we have, I'm going to talk from the youth perspective. We have young people going crazy because of drugs. You see young persons have lost their stand in life because of this addiction. So I'm hoping that this increase in taxation is going to really curb this.
It's true. You know, when someone already gets addicted, it's difficult to pull out. But then it has to be with a personal decision. If you want to get rid of any addiction, you have to take that decision. It's not the government that will impose taxes. Even if, let's say, for instance, tobacco products are like a packet of cigarette is 2.5, there are staunch, you know, smokers who will still go
buy.
for it.
That's right.
So these laws are
You're talking
good.
up to a packet. Even if a stick is 2.5, some people will still buy.
That's right.
To
To them, it's some kind of ambience or some swag to
it relieves
be
them,
taken.
as they say. You know, we did a story
Exactly.
and they say it's a sign, it's a form of relief from stress and all that, but then you're causing harm to your system and you think you're relieving yourself. So I think people should really, even if you tell, I don't know, we really just have to keep praying for them, because getting out of an addiction is it's not really easy. Some persons are really trying, but then it's really not easy.
Going back and back. So you have to start by taking a decision to fight against the working need. Working on need does not mean you just get up one day and say, I don't stop for smoke. No. One day at a time. You take it gradually, slowly. Because if you just get up and start boasting that I have stopped, it's not going to happen like that. So be easy on yourself as well, because slow and steady, they say, wins the race. Don't take it fast, okay? Cigarette is not good. Tobacco products, all of these things, alcoholic, too much of it, is not good for your health. So avoid it. It will destroy your lungs, your liver, and other vital organs. So stay away from that. People don't get to see this in their early years when they start consuming this.
Of course.
In your 20s, in your 30s, oh, life dictates, joker is
I'm
sweet.
enjoying.
10 years after, 5 years after,
It's
you
a
start
whole-
having these livers, you're getting older, your system is crashing, it's failing.
That's right.
The products have dealt with your organs, and then you start going for hemodialysis, you start having liver issues and all these things which are not actually healthy.
So we are advising the young persons especially to try as much as they can to stay away from tobacco products. It's not going to be healthy. But then, Eileen, before you leave us, I wanted to quickly contribute on a talking point. You know, last week we were talking of which traditional meal should be made a national delicacy. So today we want to find out from you, what is the most interesting aspect about your culture?
Okay. That's a big one. That's a very, very big one. Well, I would say my culture is one very unique, special, and different culture because there is I would not want to say superstition. I would just want to say it is what it is. Like for instance, the Lake Oku. You can't just go to the lake without passing through the palace. It is a very mysterious lake and very dangerous. No economic or human activities take place around Lake Oku. And also the Kilum Mountain. You know, the Kilum Mountain is Kilum Mountain and Kilum Forest, very, very rich in natural resources. Herbs are there, trees that cannot be found in any part of the world are there, animal species and birds are there. Then the climatic conditions too is very favorable for these things. So maybe that is why we are very strong with traditional medicine to cure and heal. Please, I'm not talking about Gambe. Free me. I don't know about that one.
Just to clarify that.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know about that. So people have this I would say it's a myth about people from my culture or from Oku.
Lake Oku.
Yes, I believe that every culture has its superstitious belief and all of that, and medicine and all of that for the negative purposes. But I know that my village, if you are suffering from an ailment and it's not possible to be treated, go to Oku. There are healers, traditional healers that they'll heal you. Yes, that's why we are so special.
Okay, thank you very much, Lake Oku. We'll see how we can visit Lake Oku one day. Thank you so much, Eileen, and we wish you a beautiful weekend.
A better one for you, Magda.
See you on Monday.
Tomorrow for Leisure Parlor.
Definitely.
Take the rendezvous.
Thank you so much. We're going to see you on Monday on Salve, Vicinus.
Definitely.
That was Summer Eileen for her praise review, and of course she told us about her culture. For the most interesting part of her culture, they have the Lake Oku, and they have a lot of herbs from that part of the country. You might just want to visit it. All the tourists might just want to get to Lake Oku and find out what it is all about. We have at this time we are after 8:30, and John Philip Wangla is here to treat us to our sports info. Remember, we always bring you sports to let you know of our local sports, our national, international sports in every discipline, not limiting it just to football, but it cuts across all other disciplines. So let's get to JP Wangla and find out what is making news from the sport desk.
Thank you very much, Mado. Good morning, dear viewers of DMR TV, and good morning, viewers of the morning show. This morning we are just going to talk about a lot about football and a little bit about other news that accompany football. Like we'll talk of the Elite One, we'll talk of the Cameroon Cup final games that have started, we'll talk of the launching of the university zonal games, and then we'll go to Bamenda to meet to see the proximity stadium, and then to our fallen soldiers. We are going to also see about them, and then the FIFA Club World Cup quarter-final games that are going on. So we are going to begin with the Elite One. The Elite One Day 30 delay matches games have been scheduled for Saturday and Sunday. And on Saturday, Les Astres de Douala, Les Astres FC of Douala is going to play Bamboutus of Buda, while Aigle Royal of Mungo is going to play Victoria United. This game is going to take place at the Stade Annex de Bepanda. And then the second game in the Omnisport Annex 1 Stadium is going to see AS Fortuna Domfou to play Dynamo of Douala, while Feuve Azur of Yaoundé is going to play Gazelle of Garoua. And then on Sunday at the Bamenda Stadium, I'm sure that is going to be the first game at the Bamenda Stadium, where PWG of Bamenda is going to play versus Coton Sport of Garoua, while Panther Sportif of Nde is going to play versus Colombe de Ja Elobo. That will happen at the Mbappé Lepe Stadium. While at the Japoma Stadium annex, we are going to see Union Sportif of Douala versus Canon Sportif of Yaoundé. So that is how the Elite One games are going to take place during this weekend. We're happy that we are going to be using the Bamenda Proximity Stadium for the first time on Sunday. And then you remember we talked about the MTN Elite 2 games last week. We had just scores for the Ishosha versus Racing Football Club of Bafoussam. And so far, the other results are Yaoundé 2 beat Fovu 3-2, while Apages played a 4-all draw with FAP, Force Armée de Police. So according to these results of the MTN Day 2, MTN Down playoffs, that's the Day 7 games. Those are the Day 7 games. So far, officially, 5 clubs have been relegated to the regional league, that is the inferior league. These teams are Fovu of Baham, Dragon of Yaoundé, Jiko FC of Banjum, Ishosha of Limbe, our only Anglophone team, and then Yaoundé 2. So these teams have been officially relegated to the inferior league, that is the regional league. So we are going to dive now to the Cameroon Cup, the 32nd final of the Cameroon Cup knockout. These games were scheduled for Wednesday and Thursday. And the games of Wednesday saw Canon Sportif beat AS Fortuna 2-1, while Colombe de Ja Lobo thrashed Academy FC de Nyon 4-0. And then Pathé Sportif beat Hemle de Boyko 2-1, while Aigle de Mongo played a 1-1 draw with Gandere FC. And this game it finished at a penalty tir au but, penalties where Aigle de Mungo beat them 4-3. And then Gazelle FA beat FA Sport a whooping 5-1, while Bamboutus of Buda played a 1-0 draw with Titanic FC of Sama. Dynamo de Douala beat Victoria United 2-0, while Fauve Azur of Yaoundé beat Dream Team 4-0. PWG of Bamenda beat Fondation Mintak FC 2-0. And then the game at the Stade Telcom, Astro of Douala beat Authentic FC de Douala 1-0, while Fako United thrashed Stade Rena 2-0. That is an excellent game there from a Southwest team. And Union Sportif de Douala beat Cissé-Ouf FC 1-0. So these are the games that played on Wednesday at the Cameroon Cup Championship. And then the Thursday games that had played on Thursday, we saw games like Bafmeng United, our own team of the Northwest, in their knockout game beat New Style of Ameka 6-1. That was an excellent game there from Bafmeng United. While Dragon FC lost to Saw United. Saw United, another team from the Northwest region, 3-2. And Racing de Bafoussam beat Renaissance de Njum a slippery 1-0. Yosa, our only Yosa of the Northwest, lost again to Olympique de Bonaberi 3-0. Atlantic SC of Kribi beat Banjum 3-0, while Royal of Nka beat Avion FC 3-2. Union Abongbang beat International 4-3 during penalties. And then Tonnerre Carrera Club beat Hirondelle de Macaque 3-0, while Apages of Mfu beat Options SA of Bamenda 1-0. Cotton Sport also beat Vision 2-1, while Aigle of Menwa beat Benin de Baitoa 2-0. So that is how the games of Thursday of the Cameroon Cup went. And this is just knockout stages. As you are beaten, you are being knocked out, and then the competition evolves as it is. That notwithstanding, we are going to go to the Northwest region, where on Saturday, July 5th, 2025, Bamenda will celebrate the inauguration of its first modern playground, commissioned by the Prime Minister Chief Joseph John Gute. This landmark project, located at Tafi that is the proximity stadium, has been made possible through the funding from the Presidential Plan of Reconstruction and Development, the PPRD, in participation with the United Nations Development Program. The new stadium promises to be a center for sports lovers, hosting matches for Elite 1, Elite 2, Amateur League in the region. This initiative not only enhances local sports and infrastructure, but also aims to foster community engagement and promote physical activity among the residents. So the Prime Minister, Joseph Jongute, since he's in Bamenda now for a lot of activities, he's going to have the opportunity to officially open this stadium on Saturday, the 5th of July, before it is going to be used on Sunday, the 6th of July, where PWG is going to have that delayed day 30 delay match that's going to take place in Bamenda. We will go now to the launching of the University Zonal Championship that took place a few days during the week, where this activity saw the coming of the Minister of Sports and Physical Education and the Minister of Higher Education present there with all the universities, state universities and private universities of the Southwest region, that is the Zone Z, that is both Littoral and Southwest region. And we had our own university there, the Catholic University of Boya, and there the proprietor of the university is Lordship Bishop Michael Bibi. You know, he's a promoter of sports, not only sports but sports and physical education in the milieu of education. So there he attended there. He was there to support his university together with the Minister of Sports and Physical Education and the Minister of Higher Education. So that is how the competition went and was opened. As days go by, we are going to be talking about the various activities going on, the various games that are going to be played. Okay, we'll leave from that and we will meet yesterday the 3rd of July. Yesterday the 3rd of July was a sad day for football fans. First of all, in Nigeria, we had Peter Rufai, the Nigerian goalkeeper. For those who can remember, he won the AFCON in 1994. Peter Rufai died at the age of 61. And the Super Eagles of Nigeria and football fans of Nigeria are in mourning because he passed away yesterday. Same thing with the Portuguese and Liverpool fans are also in mourning as they lost one of theirs, Diego Jota. Diego Jota, who plays for Liverpool, was traveling back to England yesterday, in the early hours yesterday, and was involved in a car accident where his tire punctured and the car lost its direction and caught some fire, and then he happened to have died during that in that car crash. So fans of Liverpool are mourning the death of one of theirs, and Diego Jota, the Liverpool striker, is no more. So may his soul rest in peace. That said and done, we are going to go to the last item on our package today. Our last item on our package today is the quarter-final games that have been scheduled to play for the FIFA Club World Cup. The FIFA Club World Cup, where Fulmenis is going to play Al Hilal. Al Hilal, you know, it's a Saudi Arabian team, and it has gone up right to this level of the quarterfinals. It's going to be meeting Fulmenis today in the evening. While tomorrow, Saturday, we have Palmeiras is going to play against Chelsea, and PSG is going to play against Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid is going to play against Dortmund. So, Mado, this is what we prepared for our viewers this morning on Sports Info.
Thank you very much, John Philip Wangla, for bringing us a very rich package from the new sports desk. We are very grateful for that. From going through all of that, it makes a lot of sense. But before you take leave of us, we want you to participate on our talking point today. Today we are talking culture, and want to find out from you, first of all, where are you from? Which part of the country are you from?
Mado, I'll tell you, I'm a sock boy.
Okay. Boy from sock.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so what is the most interesting aspect about your culture?
For me, one of the most interesting aspects about my culture is the identity. The identity we have. That is, some people know themselves from always being outspoken, very vocal. They just express themselves in their dialect, even without knowing.
Very proud of their dialect.
Like me, I can just sit and say "Abai." When somebody just makes that statement, you just already start saying that he is from this side of so.
So that makes people easily identify yourselves.
Yes, that is.
Okay, so it's your dialect that is most.
That is our identity.
Okay.
And we even have this thing where, but some people are always. I don't know if it's an insult, but for me, it's a form of identity where they have this problem of pronouncing the O as
U. Yeah, fun.
Bui.
It's the identity because that's what identifies you people as well. And I think most of them are very proud and are very, very intelligent people. You mostly find their brain boxes from the soul, and so I think that's part of your identity, and I'm sure people are very proud of that.
Yes, for me, I'm proud of that. I have no problem with that.
Okay.
It's funny, but we just laugh, but it's okay by me.
Okay, thank you very much, John Philip Wangla, and we hope to have you here again on Monday for more information from the sports desk. Do have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, and same to you, Mado.
Thank you so much, JP. That was JP for our sports, from our sports desk, presenting us a lot of information from the sports desk, what is making news from that part of the news desk. That was really, really an insightful one. While we anticipate to have Kenjaman treat us to our Divine Mercy Tori, you still want to contribute on our talking point. The numbers are displayed on your screen, SMS or WhatsApp, and let us know what is the most interesting part of your culture. What is that identity? What is that thing that identifies you to every other person in your culture, that makes you people stand out, that makes you identify yourself with your fellow brothers and sisters of that particular clan or of that particular tribe or of that particular ethnic group. Share with us your thoughts about that talking point. While we wait to have Kenjaman on set, let's have this bite of music. We'll be right back.
Uy, iwe lindomboa. Orale mita wawo kwane
Thank you very much, our broadcaster, for that very beautiful one. And I'm very much dressed in the attire of that dance, and I feel very happy. And we're extending special greetings to all our people from the Mokwe land, all the Bakori people, John Kelemo. That was a very beautiful one day. And we have King Jaman here to treat us to our Divine Mercy Tori, that he comes in to give us news in the pidgin language, what has been making news in the course of maybe the week or the yesterday and maybe this morning. So let's get to King Jaman and find out what is making news this morning.
Special salute for any man where it takes stop by just now for outside they take listen and they take watch Divine Mercy Radio Television. As una take hear am from Staff Lady Magdalene Wondo, na the time this so for we for bring una tori for pidgin language. Straight away, Coach Podem with the equally start tori for this sharp morning time now for Bishop's house for small support side day Coach Podem which take pass na matter for end of Ndongame with seminarians them where it be happen from the 29th day for June moon. Sute jamam yesterday, number 3 day for July moon, which take pass during the meeting. Papa Bishop, of course, if we commune together with the seminarians for inside Dasokbeya, about 97 of them. As when they take Siam so for na tele coach for them. Now the moment they start with the meeting, it be end yesterday, and Papa Bishop, if we give each of the seminarians them lapa for the 25th anniversary as father, where they come up for about 25 days for inside this July moon, so coach put them. Joy and glad it be flop for all the seminary and them skin as he takes Siam, all man the jolly, all man the zenge, all man the dance as he take pass coach put them. For 2 p.m. so when I will tell you how the meeting it be passed, the 5-day meeting where Papa Bishop will get with the seminary and them for Daso Boya. And with the young seminarians, so they talk for talking stick after the Ndongame, when I will take year as it be happen. We come leave that chapter just now. We enter for inside matter for today's update for project as Sunanoram every Friday na day for we will bring a project update and which it take pass His Lordship Michael Bibi Bishop for that Boya. It be land for that side for Father's house or Presbytery house for Divine Mercy Co Cathedral Parish For go see how below it happen for inside the father's house Kochipurem as you take Siam so for your tele. Of course, if you live to for day, if you go for pastoral center, as well as the Ripafin microfinance for inside that's of Boya. Of course, Bishop to be go land for day, we go take see how the construction works it happen for that end Kochipurem. For 2 p.m. we could bring up Funa, which the engineer the way that they work for that side of pastoral center for inside Ripafin permanent building. They will talk for we, and they will bring one to the permanent site for Divine Mercy Radio Television. How the bolo it did just now as launching, it could happen for number 6 day for inside the July month when Divine Mercy Radio Television it could celebrate 3 years anniversary for that side for St. Charles Longa Parish, Moriko Beya. For 2 p.m. no miss them. You could hear more, you could sabi more. We complete that chapter just now. We enter for next story, Coach Purem. Usa will stop by with the enter now for inside matter for university games, where the minister for higher education as well as the minister of sport and physical education, he began launch for inside Beya University. Of course, I say matter for university games where it is ongoing just now. The minister for higher education, Professor Jacques Fabien Dongo, as well as the Minister for Sport and Physical Education, the day for Beya just now for launch University Games Zone C. Sabiti Zone C, it get university them for Douala, for Littoral, as well as university them for Southwest region. During the launching, will be happen for inside University of Boya, government officials them, Papa Bishop of Daso Boya and other men of God them themselves they did it for witness the launching for University Games Zone C. We minister them, they be answer present for that palaver. For 2 p.m. too, no miss them. You could hear more, you could sabi more. We leave a chapter just now with the enter for matter for Bobo Waka for PM. Prime Minister for Cameroon, His Excellency Chief Dr. Joseph Diongute, which he take pass, countryman Ide Bamenda just now for Abakwa side Kochpurem. Yesterday will be shown how it be reached for that side for Tonga village inside West region, and just now as we talk, countryman Ide na for that side for Bamenda. Where to carry countryman go Bamenda for 2 p.m. when I said okay yeah, na the moment this where they be receiving for that side for Matasm for inside boundary between West region and Northwest region as it take pass for 2 p.m. No miss, you will hear and you will see all the highlight them how it take pass for that sides. We the jam to river today for matter for cry die coach put them, fans them, supporters them for Liverpool, water eternal for their eyes just now as one player for Liverpool he get accident and he die. When they take siap now the accident scene with the go so coach put them where it been a car accident. In motor, it be lost control and it be jam, then fire be catch. Now the morning time this so where look team be land for day coach put them. Now for which side the accident occur? Now for which country? For 2 p.m. we could bring up for now since as we talk all team for this sharp morning time. How the accident it do occur for 2 p.m. So now we hear them, we now could see them. Who be this player where he play for Liverpool he die so when I see now could see him coach put them Diego Jota as I see I'm so coach put them. For 2 p.m. no miss am. You could hear from fans them, lovers them for Liverpool as he take pass. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Amen and amen. Okay, now so we'll take Tori today for this sharp morning time. Why for 2 p.m. we could bring Tori for now in greater details. That's all for 2 p.m.
Thank you very much, Kenjaman, for treating us to a pidgin our Divine Mercy to read this morning. And that slot of the program wraps up Salve, Vicinus this morning. But before we take leave of you, we want to remind all the viewers, all the parish reporters, all the fans, all the supporters of Divine Mercy Radio Television that DMRTV will be celebrating 3 years on Sunday, July 6th at St. Charles Luanga Parish, Moliko Boya, beginning with Holy Mass at exactly 9 a.m. And this Holy Mass will be officiated by the Chief Shepherd of the Diocese of Boya, His Lordship Michael Bibi. So we all are invited to move. All road leads to St. Charles Luanga on Sunday at exactly 9 a.m. for a Thanksgiving Mass to thank God for 3 years of existence and for 3 years of sharing the light of hope. We want to say a big thank you to all the presenters of slots, to all those who took out time to make the program a success, to our studio manager Betu, Ketu Betwell, and to Randy for manning the broadcast and making sure the program is a success. I've been Magdalene Wondo for presentation, and we're going to be here again on Monday for another interesting and fresh week of the program Salve, Vicinus. Stay tuned to Divine Mercy Radio Television and do have a great weekend.